Well, welcome everybody, and thank you for joining us today. My name is Scott McBride. I'm the MnDOT Metro District Engineer, and I'm very happy to be here as part of this celebration. We've got some great news, and the great news today is the weather. The bad news is, I was talking to Nariman, our construction engineer, the weather is so good, we're thinking about knocking down a couple more bridges and getting started on some bridges. No, let's not do that. You may remember about this time last year with the weather not quite so good, we gathered right around Minnetonka Boulevard and we celebrated the reopening of Minnetonka Boulevard at that time. Well, today we're celebrating another and an even bigger milestone. So after 15 years of discussion and planning, and after 2.5 years of road construction, road and bridge closures, lane shifts, ramp closures, detours, cones and barrels, barricades, the Highway 7, Highway 100 interchange, and the Highway 7 Minnetonka Boulevard interchanges have been reconstructed and are safer. Motorists have an additional lane to use, and businesses, industries, and families have one more reason to consider Western Metro their home. Today we're celebrating the completion of the Highway 100 construction project. So today is not, you can clap for that. Today is not only about celebrating median barriers, noise walls, and auxiliary lanes, it's really about reconnecting community. So today is really a day for us to say thank you to all of you. I would really like to thank the people who live, work, and play in St. Louis Park and the commuters who rely on Highway 100 to get where they need to go for their patience as we completed this unprecedented amount of work. MnDOT is often criticized for disruptions during construction projects, and particularly when a project doesn't go according to plan. We accept that. It is truly the nature of this kind of work. We know that what we do impacts people's lives, some to a small degree and others considerably more significantly. While we do our best to mitigate impacts, we cannot make them disappear. So a heartfelt thank you to all of you for putting up with the mess and inconvenience that goes along with this kind of construction. I really want to thank the MnDOT employees that really designed and built this project. We have a number of them today. Nariman, our project engineer, is here. I want to point out in the back, Harvey, raise your hand, and Kathy, where'd Kathy go? Over here. They designed this project. Years of experience there. And we have April Crockett over here. John Griffith could not be here. They worked for years on this project, putting it together. There are many, many, many others that worked on this project to get this to completion. I want to thank C.S. McCrossin and all their subcontractors for the work they did on this project. Our partners, Metro Transit, Hennepin County, and all of the people who work for, in, or at the City of St. Louis Park for coming together to ask tough questions and help to come up with the right solutions for this project. Thank you very much for understanding the importance of this work, for seeing the vision that we're all seeing out there right now, and for really helping to make it happen. MnDOT knows transportation and highway construction, but we really rely on experts to educate us about the many other facets associated with transportation. Highway construction projects not only impact the traveling public and the people who live near that project, but they also impact businesses. Even though construction projects are temporary situations, many businesses worry about the level of impact during construction and the length and magnitude of that associated recovery period. We do our best to work with the business community and to anticipate obstacles and provide solutions. So today I'm happy to introduce Bill Meyer, the chairperson of the St. Louis Park Business Council. Throughout the past 2 years, we have relied on the Business Council to be a voice of the business community. By working with the Business Council, we were able to get over obstacles and challenges that we would never have been able to get over alone. Please give a warm welcome to Bill Meyer.
Hopefully the sun off my head won't blind anybody here. I'm Bill Meyer with Hanson Professional Services, and as he said, I chair the monthly Twin West Chamber of Commerce St. Louis Park Business Council meetings, and in that role, it's my pleasure to represent the St. Louis Park business community here. First, in the spirit of full disclosure, I have to confess that I'm a civil engineer, and so as a result, my reaction when I see barricades go up for a highway project is a little different from most of yours. My reaction is, cool, roadway work. And then, ever the engineer, I start analyzing the plans and the logistics and all that kind of stuff, and make my thoughts and admirations and criticisms and whatever. And on the Highway 100 project, there was a lot to admire. And I probably should make one other disclosure before I go on any further. My firm doesn't do any work for MnDOT or the City of St. Louis Park, so there's no self-serving motive here behind my comments and compliments. On the Highway 100 project, I saw a lot to admire in the design and the complex phasing, and especially in the focus on safety and communication. These are things that everyone values, and especially the business community, of course. Safety was clearly a priority in the planning and execution of the project, and to the fullest extent feasible, so was access and maintaining traffic. MnDOT and the City of St. Louis Park did a fine job of communicating in advance what they were going to do, and then they actually did what they said they were going to do. It was great. That reliable communication was a big help in guiding employees and customers through the construction. There's no way to replace a system without some inconvenience, whether that system is a customer service database or a highway, and every business person understands that. But these improvements must be made in business and in the highway system for us all to thrive. The business community here has already benefited from the effective way and that this necessary project was completed. And in the years ahead, the improved highway will add to our quality of life and the quality of our businesses here. So for that reason, even though I'll kind of miss the highway work, on behalf of the St. Louis Park business community, I also express heartfelt relief that it's done, and a heartfelt thank you to those who designed it and the contractors who built it, and all the successful communication that was done and the safety that was considered. So again, I say to all of you who are involved with it, thank you.
Thank you very much, Bill. And our last speaker today is Mayor Jake Spano. So it's my pleasure to introduce the mayor. Like all of our partnerships, the partnership with the City Council has been instrumental in this project. We've had the opportunity to work with Mayor Spano for about 4 or 5 years now, first as a City Council member and then as mayor. As I've come to know him, I'm inspired by his passion for the community of St. Louis Park. There were plenty of times when we were faced with multiple challenges that we required some creative solutions. Mayor Spano and the City Council were always right next to MnDOT, helping us deliver the messages to the community, and we're thankful for that relationship. Please give a warm welcome to Mayor Spano.
Thanks, Scott. Bill, if you were worried about the shine off of your head, well, I'd do you one better. A famous politician, Gerald Ford, former president, once said, "Our long national nightmare is over." And for those of you who are old enough to remember that, our long municipal nightmare is over. But we are so thankful that it is, and so thankful to MnDOT. I also want to make sure before I go on, I just want to make sure I recognize a few people. First off, all of you who are residents in St. Louis Park, can you just raise your hand? Thank you for your patience, all of you. Those of us who live here and work here certainly feel the impacts of these sorts of things on a regular basis, but I also want to make sure that I recognize some of our other partners who represent us. County Commissioner Marion Green is here. City Council, or rather School Board Member Jim Beneke. Ann Mavity, who is the Ward 2 Council Member. Sue Sanger from Ward 1. Our State Senator Ron Latz is here. Peggy Peggy Flanagan from the state legislature, represents the northern part of St. Louis Park and Golden Valley, is here. And Greg Lindberg from Ward 3 is also here. So we now have a quorum, so we can't talk shop. I just want to say publicly, we have a quorum, so we can't talk shop. I think one of the things, and I'll make this really, really brief, but one of the things that sort of struck me as I was thinking about finishing this is, for those of you who don't remember, Highway 100 used to be called Lilac Highway. And for a long time, there were parks on the sides of the road where you could literally pull off and have a picnic. And when you look at this road now and the amount of traffic that it has to carry for our growing community, it really was for me, or has been for me, a real sign of the evolution and change and growth in our community. We are not a sleepy little town anymore. We're not the sort of place where you can have a little highway with parks on the side of the road as much as you'd like to have that. Some of the bridges that had to be taken down were built during the WPA, during the Great Depression. And so I think Highway 100 is a great sort of metaphor for us as a community. We are now, a 6-lane highway going forward very quickly and changing very, very quickly. And this new road will help to sort of serve us as we move into the future. So I think on behalf of the city of St. Louis Park, all of the people who are here, I really want to thank MnDOT, because this project, while we've waited a long time for it, it is a thankless job for an organization like MnDOT. And I would imagine that this project is not all that different, Scott, than the hundreds of other projects around the state. Progress sometimes means disruption. We've had some for a couple of years. We're glad to see it end. We will enjoy it while we can until 169 starts construction. But in the meantime, we're going to enjoy the beautiful weather, and thank you again for all of your partnership on this as we sort of continue to move forward and grow as a community. So thanks everybody for coming.